$1,200, $1,400, and $2,000 payments only for Social Security and low-income individuals. This is looking pretty exciting as they are talking about multiple different iterations of direct payments to just the groups of people I mentioned just a second ago, which is honestly very, very exciting considering they have not talked about this type of payment in a very, very long time. But there are now 3 different iterations in which they want to issue direct money right to Social Security and low-income individuals, which I know a lot of you that watch these videos fall into this category. And again, that would be very, very, very nice for a lot of you, which is what I want to focus on here in this video. I continue to get a lot of questions every single day about these, as well as what's currently going on right now. So I'm going to walk through each of these, all 3 of these different iterations, and the plans to send money out to these groups of individuals. I'm going to walk through the details of them individually, what they mean, everything like that, so we all have a very clear picture of what's out there. But this is honestly very, very, very exciting, because when was the last time that we saw any plan to send out direct payments just to Social Security and just to low income? It's been a very long time. Anyway, let's talk through these. All right, so I know a lot of you probably want to hear about the $2,000 first, so let's start with the $2,000 since that's probably the hot button issue that everybody really wants to hear about. Anyway, so back in kind of early, mid-ish November, I talked about it at the time, but the president was out floating this idea and plan to distribute $2,000 payments to low and middle income Americans, okay? Now, this would be paid for out of tariff revenues. We've talked about many of the details since then, but this would literally be a $2,000 dividend, as he's calling it, but realistically, it's a $2,000 stimulus check is really what it is. He's choosing to use the word dividend, but dividend, profit share, rebate, distribution, stimulus check, whatever you call it, doesn't matter. It's all literally the same thing, a $2,000 payment. Now remember this, some people really get caught up on the name. If somebody handed you $2,000 and said, here's a stimulus, you'd be happy. If somebody handed you $2,000 and said, here, it's a dividend, would you think any differently, or would you just think, awesome, $2,000, thank you very much, I'll gladly take that? It's the same thing, okay? Don't get caught up by the name. Sometimes I see comments down below and say, oh no, this is only for people that file a tax return. This is only for people that are working and have an earned income because it's a dividend. Who cares about that? Don't worry about the name. It's literally a stimulus check. He's using the word dividend. Does not matter. Anyway, that's what that's all about. And the president made it very clear in his postings around that time, only low and middle income people, not to be distributed to high income people. He made that very, very clear at the time. Okay, that's that. Now let's go in order again. Let's go backwards in order, I should say. Let's talk about the $1,400. This is actually very interesting as well. But a little while ago, not that long ago, the Senior Citizens League came out with a plan where they want to distribute $1,400 make-up or catch-up payments, again, only to Social Security beneficiaries because of the high cost of living, the lackluster COLA raises, and obviously the tariff inflation and all of this other effects that are raising prices and the cost of living for Social Security beneficiaries. They've introduced this plan, again, to distribute $1,400 payments only for Social Security beneficiaries as a one-time make-up or catch-up payment, basically because of the pathetic COLAs that we've been getting and the high cost of living and how much prices are going up and the depletion of purchasing power for Social Security beneficiaries. They're basically just saying, hey, we should be issuing this one-time payment of $1,400. Again, I like it. Totally different plan than the $2,000 introduced by the president. Honestly, we'll gladly take the $2,000 over the $1,400, but at the end of the day, well, we'd just certainly take anything, I think, at this point, right? Anyway, so that's another plan that's out there that they've talked about. 2 totally separate and different iterations. Now, number 3, the last one here, is the $1,200. Now, this was introduced earlier this year, and again, it was just introduced about a little more than a month ago at this point, out of Elizabeth Warren and a handful of about 10 other co-signers and sponsors of this legislation, which is the Social Security Emergency Inflation Relief Act, which would send out a $200 bonus or a $200 raise per month for all Social Security beneficiaries for a 6-month period of time, which would be a total of $1,200 of extra money benefits for the beneficiaries because of what? Yes, price increases, the tariffs, the lack of purchasing power, things like that. Same thing here. So all three of these iterations are basically hinging off of the same thing. Increases of prices, cost of living that has increased significantly, the depletion of purchasing power, and they're all basically suggesting the same thing. A $200 raise for 6 months, Social Security Emergency Inflation Relief Act. Again, that one would be $1,200. The $1,400 make-up payment or catch-up payment as introduced by the Senior Citizens League, again, because of the pathetic COLA and the lackluster increases to beneficiaries' benefit checks, and again, the cost of living jacking up prices on everything. And then again, most recently, the $2,000 dividend/stimulus check introduced by the president, again, only focused on low and middle income people, again, paid for by revenues from the tariffs. That's what this would want to be, okay? Very interesting to see this playing out so much right now, but all of these are dedicated to, again, low income, middle income, Social Security beneficiaries, and this is what's out there. And again, very, very exciting to see something like this. And also I want to point out, I think this was kind of assumed by what I was talking about here, but I never want to assume anything. I always want to make this very clear, which is, obviously, these have not been passed yet, but they're all been talked about. They're all are a serious discussion. So that's something that we also want to consider as well. And again, remember, just because something is talked about and it's not passed 3 seconds after they talk about it does not mean that it's never going to happen. They work so slow. It's pathetic. I mean, it's ridiculous how slow they work, okay? I know that I see that sometimes where people reach out and say, they talked about it and it's not passed yet. They could talk about it and it could take them 4 or 5 or 6 months to pass it and actually bring it into fruition. It could take a while because they're so slow. I can't even talk as slow as how slow they move, right? It would be like a 4-hour video just to say like 3 words because how slow they move, right? Anyway, these are the 3 that I wanted to point out for you really quickly. This looks encouraging. Let's see what happens here going forward. Obviously, 2025 has been a very wild year. I don't think anybody can deny that, right? Take your pick. I mean, seriously, right? Take your pick as far as what has been weird so far this year. Anyway, take your pick on that. But again, I think we can all agree going forward into the new year, things like this, it's going to be a very, very interesting and busy time. And obviously, I'm going to continue to watch all of it very closely. I will continue to bring it to your attention in these videos. If you have not done so, please consider subscribing. 100% free. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything going forward. And again, I'll be here for you by your side every single day. As new information is hitting the wire, I'll bring it to your attention immediately. Otherwise, share the video. Big share button right down below as well. And check out the other 6,000 plus videos here on the channel in the video library. Otherwise, just stay tuned. I'm back in live streams. I'm back in dedicated videos. I'm watching the information coming across the wire every single day. And I'll continue to be here for you every single day, no matter what, to keep you posted on the latest information coming across. A lot of things that are happening. And maybe some of these officials, maybe some of these elected people are finally realizing that maybe the finances and maybe the finances of fixed income and low income and Social Security beneficiaries are maybe not all that great. Maybe why they continue to introduce these different ideas to get for different dollar amounts into the pockets of the people. Seems kind of interesting, right? Anyway, I'll certainly keep you posted with this. Again, please subscribe, share the video, check out the other 6,000 plus videos here on the channel. Stay tuned, and I'll catch you again later in the next one. I hope this helps you, and I'll see you later.